Hello and welcome back everyone. Into this video, we're going to talk about more into actuators and more into other topics that are going to be important. Slowly and slowly, you might have seen that we are moving from actuators to sensors to controllers. And this module, specifically module 2, is all about that. So in this module, we have chapters which are designed and aligned in such a way which is going to give you a very good understanding of use cases and equipments which are used, and also how do you align them and how do you plan them, so that they can help you in the best possible way to improve your robotic skills, of course. And this chapter is one of those. I'm not sure how much have you understood on those topics where we are using blocks. Okay, so this chapter is going to give you a very good understanding of how block based concepts help you build a better understanding of robotics, and how each and every step or each and every block builds upon the robotic structure and gives you a very good conclusive robotics solution. Okay, so without any further ado, let's actually jump into the chapter and understand what I'm going to talk about. Hello and welcome back everyone into the sixth video of my module 2, where we are talking about robotics again. Last video we covered very depth sensors, and this video we're going to continue the journey and talk a little bit more about the blocks that we were talking, and we're going to see a lot more details of how what all advanced sensors are and what all things we can see in advanced sensors. Because since sensor is a little longer topic, I'm taking this extra time to do this with this chapter. But I hope you are super excited, and I hope you have now understood basics of sensors. This video is going to give you a lot more in depth about the sensors. So hope you enjoyed, and let's get started. Okay, so we are back with our cursor. Now let's see. Okay, so we have advanced sensors which are used. So advanced sensors are specialized sensors that provide unique capability for a robotic system. We already talked about basic sensors which were there, laser range finding, accelerometer, gyroscope, and those things. But now we're talking about something special, which is not that easy for us to determine. Advanced sensors are designed to measure physical quantities that are difficult or impossible to measure with standard sensors. Okay, difficult or impossible. Okay, so this is very important. There are several types of advanced sensors used in robotics, including the 3D camera. Now, 3D camera use multiple cameras to capture three-dimensional images in a robot environment. I'll give you a very practical, very easy example. Take any iPhone after iPhone 11 Pro. Okay, all of these iPhone have multiple cameras. Okay, and all these multiple cameras help you determine the depth of the image. Okay, that's why you can see there's a effect known as bokeh effect. I'm not sure how much you have, how many, but even this camera as well, you can see that the background is quite blur and things are blur. And that's what happens in an iPhone camera as well. Whenever you turn on the camera, you can go to the portrait mode, and you can see that in a portrait mode you usually get like picture like this, which is basically blurring out my background and doing a lot of computation. And this happens because you have multiple cameras, and very practical as well. That's so depth cameras are essentially used in robots to allow for multiple vision based systems to work together and figure out the depth of the object, which one is closer, which one is further, how one object is being recognized as compared to the second one. All of these decisions can be done with the help of a depth camera. Okay, and that makes it quite unique. Then you have the depth camera can also be used for object recognition, navigation, and obstacle avoidance. Since you can you figure out, okay, if the thing is close or far, you can pretty much say that, there's an obstacle which is on the way. So you can automatically, align the robot in such a way that, they don't really start to collide with each other. Then you have the gas sensors. Gas sensors detect the presence of gases in the robot environment and can be used for applications such as environment monitoring and gas leakage. When we talk about gas leakages, okay, it's a pretty big common problem that happens over, time. And, gas sensors are used in robots to automatically start saving the people if there's a gas breakout or something. And these robot sensors, okay, allow the robot to also know, this and find the source of the gas as well. Quite an important sensor, actually. Then you have magnetic sensors, which detect the presence of magnetic field that can be used for applications such as navigation and mapping. I'll tell you what. When I was in Coimbatore, okay, in Coimbatore there's a very good restaurant, which is a robot restaurant. I don't really remember the name, but the restaurant actually has robots to deliver food. Okay, the way they work is they have a lot of magnets attached on the floor. So the robot basically senses that there is a magnet, and then it starts following the magnet strip. Okay, if it is out of the magnet strip, it comes back and sticks to the magnet strip again. So this approach helps the robot follow one single path and go around here and there and do all the things. Very powerful, very amazing. So that's only possible because of the magnetic sensors. Then you have chemical sensors. Chemical sensors that detect the presence of specific chemicals and can be used for applications such as detecting explosive and or hazardous materials. Okay. Chemicals, of course, very dangerous. You don't want anyone to get hurt. So, you put these sensors on robots, which makes them quite robust to, obviously getting destroyed. And, a robot can use these sensors to figure out the source of chemical leakage or source of chemical breakouts and things like that. A lot of things which are there. By the way, one thing that I must share with all of you is if you're extremely curious about knowing about, current advancements in sensors and robotics, you can actually check out my website where I put all of my research and, current projects that I'm working on. It's actually, I am amanmalhotra.com. I am amanmalhotra.com. Pretty easy. You can go over here, go to the research, read my research work if you want. Read my patent work if you want. All of them are here, on the project section as well. What all works have I done? Pretty cool website saying if you want to know what all I have worked on, so it's you also keep in touch with a lot of new research which is happening. Me, publication is like a very regular thing, and I keep on publishing, one or the other patents or papers. You can check all of those out. So just saying. Keep continuing and coming back with the sensors, which enable an efficient, precise, flexible manner. Okay, because sensor enable robots to perform, extremely difficult tasks. And these difficult tasks can create problems. And that's why we need sensors which are capable to perform all these tasks as well. Examples of advanced sensors which are commonly used. Okay, a 3D camera, as I said, to understand and detecting objects. Okay, a gas sensor to detect, gas leakage. Magnetic sensor for GPS, okay, for navigation. Chemical sensor for chemical breakouts and chemical problem that can possibly happen in an industry, especially if you're working with a chemical factory which is producing chemicals, and possibility of getting a human harmed is very high. Over there, you have a lot of chemical sensors which continuously send data to a robot, and whenever there's a breakout or whenever there's a chemical leakage or any gas leakage, the robots are deployed, making sure that the humans are safe. Okay, and those places, chemical sensors play a very important role. Now, you see, all of these sensors that we are talking about are not really a common type of sensors. So they're specialized sensors which are designed for special use cases. In conclusion, okay, advanced sensors are specialized sensors that provide unique capability of robotic system. There are several types of advanced sensors used in robotics, including 3D camera, gas sensors, magnetic sensors, and chemical sensors, of course. Understanding the different types of advanced sensors and their application is essential for designing and building effective robotic solution. Because essentially what we're doing is we are building effective solutions which are helpful for robots. And that's only possible if you have good sensors. And that's it. We are done for this one. But on an end, to tell you some of extra things which are there. For any sensor to work, there are a couple of things which are very important. Okay, there are two things which are very important. Some of the sensors are active sensors. Okay, now active sensors are nothing but sensors which actually don't need any external power to work. Okay, this can be your force sensors since they produce their own signal. And this can be your light dependent resistor LDRs. Okay, which basically change the resistance according to the light. And some of the sensors which are also there are which don't require any extra power can be a magnetic sensors as well, reed switches. Okay. There are other categories of passive sensors which require power to work. In that case, what happens is you need to supply power into the sensor, and then it starts to give you a signal back. Okay, they are known as passive sensors. Now, the reason why I'm telling you both of these is because a lot of time when we're talking about an application, okay, both of these categories help you understand, or help you understand, which sort of sensor you want. Okay, if you have a sensor which is not capable to perform this or that, then you might need to change from active to passive or passive to active. Now, all of these use cases actually help you figure out, okay, what exactly are you building? Are you building a robot which is going to have this capability or that capability? And this or that capability differentiates the whole equation and will help you figure out, okay, this is something that I want and this is something that I don't want. So, but I hope you understood all of these things in this module and in this lecture. And this module was quite an exciting module for me, because sensors and actuators are love of any robotics engineer. Okay, I must say that. And if you are getting into robotics, I hope you are excited by this part. We'll be covering more and starting with more simulations from the next modules. And yeah, I hope you are having a good time till now. I'll see you on the next one. Till then, happy learning. As always.